on the 22nd of September 1988. An eruption happened in the Islamic world as a book or novel was authored by a great British or Indian British author or writer named Salman al-Rushdie called the Satanic Verses, as he labeled the title to be of the book. Now, in the book, he tried to criticize the prophets of being seduced by Satan or demons, or we say shaitan, when he encrypted some verses in his heart, called the Satanic verses, as the verses found in Surah An-Najm. And himself got his evidences, sourced it from two books called the Tafsir of Al-Waqdi and Tafsir of Al-Tabari. This is Tafsir of Al-Tabari. And also, he got it from the book to buttress his point that Rasulullah got his verses from Shaitan. And why did he say so? Was from a verse found in Surah An Hajj, 22nd chapter of the Quran, from verse 51. Allah says in that verse, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wa ma arsalnaka min qablika min ar-rasul wala an-nabiy wa idha tamana alqa shaytanu fi umniyatihi فَيَنْسَخَ اللَّهُ مَعَ يُلْقِي الشَّيْطَانُ وَاللَّهُ يُحْكِمُ حَيَاتِهِ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. The verse clearly says that with Allah saying that we do not send down before you messengers or an prophet unless he desires. And when he desires, Shaitan comes in and throws into his heart of his desires, of his whimsical desires, then Allah quickly removes it from it. What Shaitan has thrown into his heart. And after which, Allah is the one who established his laws, his ordinance, and Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. Now, with this verse, some Fasirin, for example, like At-Tabari, mistakenly say that this verse was revealed to the prophets, or for the sake of the prophets. The prophet was the one who this verse came down upon to reveal that Shaitan threw something in his heart. And with that, he recited some verses wrongly. And let's look at where it was said in At-Tabari on the verse when Allah said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَمِنَ الرَّسُولِ وَلَا نَبِيًّا إِذَا تَمَنَّى أَلْقَى الشَّيْطَانُ فِي أُمْنِيَتِهِ. And he said, he put the chapter of this verse, the title, he said, قَالَ إِنَّ سَبَبَ الَّذِي من أجله أنزلت هذه آيات على رسول الله. And this verse came down upon the prophet. Now, the reason why this verse was read because of the Rasul who Shaitan came in to instill some words in his heart. كان أنا الشيطان كان ألقى على لسانه في بعض ما يتلوه بما أنزل الله عليه من القرآن ما لم ينزل الله عليه. That it came down that he said something of the verse which was not revealed unto him. Allah did not reveal it to him. We said it and he said Allah revealed to him. That is Rasulullah, according to him, Rasulullah lied by saying this verse came down from Allah, whereas it did not come out from Allah. This was what he mistakenly recorded in. This is one of the oldest historian and mufassirin of this Muslim world, At-Tabari. His name is Muhammad ibn Jarir. And with that, he recorded a hadith to prove his point, which he says, as the hadith goes like this, is found in hadith number 25, 281. He said, حدثنا عن قاسم قال ثانا حسين reported قال حدثني عن إسحاق عن حبي حاشر عن محمد ibn Kab al-Qurradi. Now, Muhammad ibn Kab al-Qurradi is one of the reporters of the hadith, the Sahabi of the Prophet, who became from a Jewish man, and a Farsiyan or Quradiyan, who became a Muslim. And also, the hadith was also recorded from Ibn Abbas. These are two companions that some people dedicated this hadith to. The hadith comes like this, and it says, he said, ومحمد بن قيس قال جلس رسول الله في النادي من نادات القراش. that Rasulullah when they sat on his bird, then kathiran ahlu, the people were many, and the people in the house were many, they were a multitude. Then he continued by saying, فَتَمَانَعَ, then يوم عيدين, he desired on that day, and لا يأتيه من الله شيء, that something should come from Allah unto him, because it seems that Allah's revelation was delayed. So he himself was hoping that the verse would come to him. Then he said, وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَىٰ, then the verse came to him. The first is found in Surah Al-Najm. Then the story, the chapter of the stars. He said, وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَىٰ, وَمَا أَضَلَّ صَاحِبُكَ مَا غَوَىٰ. Then after which he had said that, said, فَقَرَأَ Rasulullah stated the verse, حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغَ, when he reached the point, فَرَأَيْتُمْ, then don't you see Allat and Uzza were Manat, the three Talit al-Ukhra, the three pagan idols or gods, which is the Allat, the Uzza, and the Manat, the third and the last. Then he continued by saying, he said, أَلَقَ عَلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانُ There's kalimatain. It was said that Shaitan threw these words onto the heart. What was the words that Shaitan threw onto the prophet's heart? Was the three idols, which three three gods of the pagan worshippers in Mecca that Rasulullah was revering when he says, Allatu Uzza wa Manata to Qra. Then these words came from Shaitan. Alqa alayhi Shaitan. Kalimatain is two words. Watirika gara'anik. What is gara'anik? This is a strange word. Came from the prophets. Oh. He said, Wa inna shafa'atayhina atarji. Anyone who seeks the shafa of these gods, who take the intercessions of these gods, will be saved. This was exactly what was said. فَتَكَلَمَ بِهَا ثُمَّ مَضَعَ. Then when he said these words, then he got up from his position, فَقَرَعَ السُّورَةِ, and read the whole surah كُلَّهَا, وَسَجَدَ, and he prostrated فِي آخِرِ surah. And when he get to the last verse, he prostrated. Then which he had done that, then وَسَجَدَ قَوْمٌ جَمِيعًا, people prostrated with him. People who were behind him were reciting the verse with him, they prostrated as he prostrated. And after which, وَرَفَعَ وَلِيدُ ibn Uqba. The hadith is so long, lengthy hadith. It goes on. This hadith shows that it came from Muhammad ibn Ka'b al-Quradi, and this hadith also was reported by Ibn Abbas according to At-Tabari, Muhammad ibn Jarir, and Hudas, the historian, also a Mufassir, that it came down. Let's see what other stories was said by it according to, before we counter what was said by At-Tabari. We do respect At-Tabari because it's not easy at that time to compile book of history and tafsir of the Quran. It's not easy. It took strength, it took perseverance, it took painstaking power or intellectual power to do such thing. So I respect and give honor to him. It's not that, but there is a human being. A human being is bound to make mistakes in compiling hadiths that are weak, that are not regarded amongst the Muslims. And if you examine that, if you look at it from the point of view and say, well, let's accept the hadith because it came down from Muhammad ibn Ka'b, who is a strong and reliable report of hadith, and also Ibn Abbas, who is one of the in-law or the cousins of the Prophet. If we believe in such hadith, then we may categorically say that Rasulullah, many verses of the Quran, were revealed by Satan to the Prophet, which is very wrong.